Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of July 27th through August 2nd. And during that time, we'll have a waxing crescent moon, and that's a really good time of heightened senses, time to continue doing really focusing on the new things that you've started during the new moon, new projects, new thoughts, new ways of being. So just kind of keep your focus there and keep chugging away. There is the energy of the first quarter that comes in on the second, and that can be a little bit impulsive, impatient, where it's hard to settle your mind down. I think that does come in on the weekend. So hopefully you can work through that, practice your patience and get through that. And as we move through the moon cycle there. So this will be an intuitive general reading, Sagittarius, for the energies that you may or may not encounter this week. So of course, please keep that in mind. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading, it's time to release negativity. All right, let's see what the Sagittarius Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to say my weekly reminder for this week is that you take some time to meditate this week. Just, find a little bit of time that you can carve out, go within, still your mind and your body, and just go in and explore. If you already do this, you know what I'm talking about. It can be very rejuvenating to do this, very recharging and clarifying, depending on what you're going through. So, and if meditation is not something that you practice regularly, it's just my reminder to maybe try to give that a try this week and see if you can start working that into your daily routine. All right, Sagittarius, July 27th through August 2nd. Let's get into this reading. Overall message, it's time to release negativity. All right, Sagittarius, your overall message card is the Eight of Cups here. So moving forward here and just kind of moving forward. Looks like things are going well for you right now. You've got, emotional support at your back. Your cups are full. It's like your cups are full and you're wondering what else is out there. So it's time to get out and explore a little bit. All right, your current situation is the Queen of Wands. So while you're exploring, you're doing it with an understanding of, what your passions are, what kind of drives your fire, and not only what drives you, but what drives the people around you as well, so that you can pull all those in and kind of pull those resources and focus together. So the Queen is just a lovely, lovely energy for that. It's like imagine that this is the mother of passion for everybody. It's someone who, that you encourage other people to, to find their fire and to live that way. But it also, you're able to kind of pool resources and how can we work together to make sure everybody's getting what they want. So that's very awesome. At the root of your situation is the Ten of Cups. So you're in just a great place where you're feeling like, happy life, happy family, and we're doing great. And how come that, how can we go forward? How can we move forward in an even more positive way? Like I said, your cups are full behind you. This to me says that you have family support, and that makes it easier to go out and do those sorts of explorations, hopefully for you. In your recent past is the King of Pentacles. So it looks like you're, kind of in a place where you're at least knowledgeable about the world around you, so that you move forward. Move forward with that material knowledge. Like, if this means you want to move forward, financially and do something, you've got some knowledge at your back. If it means you're, moving forward in some sort of passion project, you have some knowledge at your back. So just knowledge about how the material world works, and that's kind of your background when we're thinking about things that are going on for you this week. What is on your mind this week is maybe something that you're feeling a little bit dissatisfied about. So you've got, all these cups that are showing up in this reading. This could be an emotional week for you, but you've got, this next thing that maybe the universe is, maybe it's something you're seeking, but the thing that you're being offered right now, you're just not super satisfied with. Is there some reason there? And maybe that's why you're seeking. Maybe, maybe that there is something here, that there's just one little, like, things are great, but you've got this one little thing in this one area where you're just not real satisfied. And so sometimes that's just about changing your mindset and changing your, what are you manifesting? Are you getting stuck in this dissatisfied mindset? And you need to change your mindset a little bit to make sure that instead of getting stuck in this loop of thinking, really focusing on the negative, is that you're thinking bigger and focusing on the positive, so that that starts to manifest itself into your life. What is just ahead of you this week is the Page of Pentacles. So some new opportunity, it looks like, when it comes to the material world and finances. And if this new opportunity, like I said, it could just be an attitude adjustment where it's like, hey, instead of being dissatisfied, because that will get you into that mindset of dissatisfaction, and then you're there week after week after week. Try to let that go a little bit and get into that more positive mindset of like, how can I explore doing something new in the way of the material world? Maybe bringing new money in, making more money on a side gig, budgeting better. Just kind of managing your financial life so that you your overall card was, it's time to release negativity. So that's part of what that mindset is of abundance and gratitude, which just brings more and more to you. In your advice position is the Two of Swords. So, kind of some indecision and mulling things over. And if you're mulling over releasing that negativity, just, and maybe just mulling over how to do that, right? Um, and this is sword energy. So maybe it's just how to change your mindset so that, so that it's something that you're changing for an everyday thing, not just one day or 1 or 2 days, but something that you work into your routine. What is beyond your control here is the Queen of Cups. So not only we have the Queen of Wands here, that is about understanding your passions and those around you, but now it's understanding the emotions of the people around you, and what, not only what drives you, but also what drives, kind of the group mindset. So very, very interesting there. What is your secret desire, or what you're trying to avoid? Of course, you're trying to avoid grief and sadness with these spilled cups. So many cups in this reading. I mean, you've got, this is, you've got this whole line of cups here. Queen of Cups comes out. Look at all the cups in this reading. I feel like how many more cup cards could come out, but also surrounded by the material world. So it seems like maybe some frustration there when it comes to that. But I do think it's about releasing negativity and learning about manifesting. And, I was talking to you about meditation. Meditation is a great way to do that. If you can work that into your routine, get that positive mindset going, meditate on it, just kind of force yourself to do it if it's not something that you normally do. And just watch those changes start to happen. Watch your mindset start to change. In your outcome position, Sagittarius, is the Three of Wands. So there you are, looking for new ventures, with an attitude change. Let's look for some, see if any numbers are repeating. Don't see repeating numbers here, but this is, the Three of Wands is about new ventures. And usually it is something about, passion, and just kind of looking, look at this guy looking out on the horizon, like, what's ahead of me? What can I, and where can these wands take me? So very, very interesting. Also, that at the end of your reading here, we've got two with our back to us, kind of thinking about the future, and this card here, because it's in your secret desire or trying to avoid. I doubt if it's your secret desire to feel like that guy. He doesn't look like he's having the best day. So, I'm sure you're kind of trying to avoid that, and that's fine. You want to work on, not being negative, trying to be just more positive day to day, because that's what you manifest. All right, what's hidden from us here at the bottom of the deck is the Magician. Very interesting. So, the Magician is about awareness, and it's the awareness to make that sort of change. And, the Magician asks you what you want to manifest and how you want to change. That's kind of hidden from you. So, and it looks like you're bogged down with the emotions of this and kind of the thoughts and things that you're, like, what's the saying, that you can't see the forest for the trees, right? So you do need to step back, look at that bigger picture. How are you contributing to what you're manifesting just with your mindset? And if you release that negativity, just give it a try. Like, what can it hurt? Can it hurt if you work on this really hard for 2 weeks to try to become more positive, try to become more grateful? What if it changes things for the positive? So give that a shot this week. All right, let's get a final message here, Sagittarius, from the Soul Oracle deck. Final words for Sagittarius as they're trying to release negativity and learn how to manifest better, make better choices. Always good advice. Let's see what you guys need to do in the way of self-care. Self-care this week for Sagittarius. Self-care for Sagittarius. And the card that comes up for you guys is release. Interesting because release negativity. So it's time to release. Sometimes the best way to grow is simply to let go. Wow. Yeah, you need to release that negativity, Sagittarius. I think it's bogging your mind down a little bit and getting in the way of you thinking about a positive future, because and it's hard. I know if you're struggling, it's hard sometimes to get rid of that negativity and try but that's the challenge. That's literally why it's being, packaged in that way and presented to you. It's a challenge for you to learn how to overcome, and that way once you do, you don't have to be challenged with that anymore. That's how it works. So, Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here with me today. I really do appreciate your time. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a message down below. Let me know. Are you working on releasing negativity? Are there tools and tricks that you're using that maybe you could share with the rest of us, on how to do that better? What works for you? I do post weekly readings, so come back next week and we'll see if this energy continues or if there's something completely new here for you. Also, if you like my reading style, of course, please hit like and subscribe. It really helps my channel, but most importantly, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much, Sagittarius, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.